You need a signature coaching framework right now more than ever. And in this episode, I am breaking down the 3 clear reasons why. Welcome, coaches, to this week's episode of the Best Damn Coach podcast. It is a really exciting month here because the doors to the Framework Builder Lab live are about to open. And if you're hearing this and you're like, but October 22nd, oh my goodness, that's yesterday or today or 3 days ago or next week. I don't know when you're listening. It's okay. Come join us. We officially start October 22nd. This is my bread and butter program that I feel every single coach out there should be diving into in order to have clarity on exactly what sets them apart, to blend their unique expertise into a beautiful package to guarantee consistent client results, to scale your coaching business into group formats or a course or a program or whatever the case is. And you should be in there live with us now. It's the only live cohort of 2025. I am doing it for the first time ever in 8 weeks instead of 6 to give more breathing room, more open coaching, more accountability. And right now, when you join, for the first 25 people to join us, I'm also offering an amazing bonus. Usually, when I build a framework with someone custom in a private one-to-one setting, the investment is $3,000 or beyond, depending upon that particular client. When you join as one of the first 25 students inside the FBL Live, I'm going to personally give you feedback when the FBL Live is over. So you're going to send me all the good stuff you created. I'm going to give you a customized Loom video back to make your framework even more potent and to talk about ways to go out to market it and to then use it to get clients. So you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Come join me right now at amanda-walker.com/lab to join us. And so as we dive into this episode, I want to talk about actually why a framework is more important than ever right now in the consumer market that we are facing. And here's some things that I've been hearing and have even felt a little bit myself. And gratefully, I have the insights and the foundation to overcome these things. But here's what I'm hearing. It's like what used to work isn't working as well. I used to feel like I could be able to say this and it would become clients. My launches are a little slower. It feels like it's crickets out there. It seems like people are just taking longer to say yes to my coaching services. And so in this episode, I'm going to explain what's happening in the market right now and why having your framework isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's literally the difference between a thriving coaching business and just surviving as a coach and staying in that hobby place where you're not actually making profit. And so I'm going to break down 3 reasons why right now I believe a signature framework is so important. And I think you're going to see yourself inside of these things. Reason number 1 is the trust recession is real. I've been talking about this for a year. It's really cool when I've been talking about it and then some of the big dogs in the industry are finally talking about it. And I want to share some statistics just to really cross the T and dot the I's on this part. I'm going to pull I've been grateful enough to have lots of speaking opportunities to speak on the trust recession and how to combat it. But I'm going to share some statistics I share in my signature keynote on this topic. Number 1, consumer trust is at its lowest level in the last 9 years. 2, only 50% of consumers have confidence in brands they do business with since 2023. Third, only 42% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendation in 2025, which is a sharp decline from 79% in 2020. What happened in there? COVID. A lot of people went online. But most importantly is this statistic that 88% of buying decisions are influenced by trust. Why does this matter to us as coaches? Well, here's why. Your potential clients aren't just as skeptical of big corporations and big business. They're also skeptical of us. They're skeptical of you. You might be even skeptical of me. They've potentially been burned before. You've been burned before, potentially. You've been investing in coaching or courses and they didn't deliver, or you didn't do them, or you didn't get as much support as you thought you wanted, or you've been made these lavish promises of 10K months in 30 days that turned into complete smoke and mirrors. First off, I empathize with you. I get it. This is the struggle we're all facing right now. Along with that, I just think the word coach has been kind of generic and overused, and it's used in places where people aren't really coaches. They're slinging services and they're selling products. And now I think it's not like, oh, cool, you can help me. It's like, prove to me how you're different and how you're actually a coach and not one of these other things. And so, with all of those things, I do believe there's hesitancy for the market that we serve. And it's not a problem. I want to be clear. It's not a problem. It's just that if you want to keep up, if you want to still be around in 5 years from now, then you can't keep doing the things that you've always been doing, right? That's the definition of insanity. You have to understand how trust operates in the buyer's market and find ways to overcome that. So, how do we do that? Why, when it comes to trust, is building a framework more important now than ever? Because proof, because results. The most important thing you will ever do as a coach is give your clients results, get them results. And if you're not doing this consistently, people aren't walking away going, oh my gosh, you rocked my world. Then you don't have the validation both internally on your service, but also externally. And so we need people out there talking about our services when we're not in the room. And also, we need those inbound proof of service testimonials. We need to solicit them, ask for them. And also, we need to be freaking crushing it and delivering such results that people are just popping into our Voxer threads or posting on Kajabi or in our Facebook groups and say, hey, oh my gosh, this is the best program, or this is the best coaching I've ever had. And if you're not clear in your process to get them those results, then this is why you need a framework. Ping pong, willy-nilly, it's just not good enough anymore. And I always like to say it's either guesswork or it's a framework. And many of you coaches are doing guesswork. And you're saying, I want to be in flow. I don't want to be so stringent. That's fine. You don't have to be. That's not what a framework is. As one of my brilliant clients in the FBL said, like, a framework lets me see the finish line so I can actually be way more present in sessions. So for me, many of you think that you're feeling like lack of confidence because you need more experience, when in actuality, you need your own process and to walk people through it and get consistency. And that's what creates trust. Buyers are looking for evidence of proof. They're going to the reviews. They want word of mouth. Like, think about your own buying patterns. If somebody says, oh my gosh, I went through this person's program, you've got to take it. I'm like, tell me more. Who do I follow? Where do I go? Versus somebody I find on a cold traffic ad and then I search and then I go look for their proof. I still have some skepticism. So then I need to consume some of their content, much like you guys are right now, which I definitely validate. But this is why I am constantly pulling in testimonials into our work. So you can hear, like, Amanda is, so she says she is. When you come into my world, this is what you will experience. Okay. Number 2 reason that you need a framework is what's working now versus what used to work. I'm seeing this shift pretty much everywhere. Coaches are struggling to get discovery calls booked. People are saying, I'm going to think about it. There's a little bit more time. The old number was 7 touch points before people took action. Now the suggested from kind of quote unquote marketing experts is 20 to 22 times. And so what that means, well, also is gone are the days where you can just post and you can use generic messaging. Like, I help women find confidence, and your DMs are flooded with inquiries. Those things just aren't talking. Those things aren't happening. And I'm not saying people's DMs aren't flooded with inquiries, but it's the people that either have already built an audience or are saying the more specific language that are feeling that result. I have a client that's a perfect example of this. Is what used to work, that generic messaging, is not working anymore. So she's a personal stylist for 20 years in the UK and has worked with some of the coolest, has a portfolio that is so amazing. Generically, though, her IG bio when she started with me was I help women feel empowered. And I didn't know she was a stylist. We got to get clear, Liz, on the exact outcome, right? So what she does and is now clear on is she helps female entrepreneurs choose what they're wearing in less than 30 seconds so they can make a first impression in less than 7 seconds. You're like, I freaking want that. getting dressed in knowing what to wear less than 30 seconds so you can just boom, impact people. And so what used to work was that generic messaging. It's not working anymore. Because if a million other coaches are saying generic things like, I help women feel empowered, I help them find their purpose, I help them feel confident again, then I don't really know what that is. It does not create a clear sensory image of exactly the outcome that you provide as a coach. I want you speaking exactly what that outcome is that they desire in results. And this is, again, this is the core of what we do in building a framework inside the Framework Builder Lab. This is where we start. What I think a lot of people don't realize is if you don't nail this part, the rest of your coaching business is ho-hum, right? We want to get so crystal clear on the exact results you provide. Like, I know when you come into the Framework Builder Lab, you're going to know, or you're going to be able to create your signature framework, in this case, in less than 8 weeks, and know exactly what makes you unique and special, right? Not only that, there's going to be a magnification of all these other things that happen. And so what used to work was kind of being generic, and that doesn't work anymore. What works now is specificity. That's what cuts through the noise. That's what makes someone stop scrolling and go, that's exactly what I need. And again, if you're not certain about that, that's okay. We can help you get that clarity inside the lab. Inside the lab, I actually walk you through a formula that I use to help you find this. And oftentimes, what we've just been doing is hovering too wide because we're afraid to really zone in on the thing that we're actually most excited about, we're best at. This was me, right? I didn't realize that I'm a freaking curriculum master. I see everything in my brain and it's reverse designed. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I want to stay. And it's more narrow. Teaching coaches, female coaches, how to build their signature framework is much different than my broader program, teaching coaches how to make money and get clients in the BDC. Again, I'm leading with specificity. When people come in and they get to experience that zone of genius in the Framework Builder Lab, it automatically brings them into a larger problem. Many of our students move right into the Best Damn Coach because of the results they get by solving a more specific problem. So specificity is key. Okay, number 3 reason that you need a framework more than ever is, I kind of already alluded to this, but it is what I would call is the vanilla coach problem, or even the regurgitation coach problem. I am definitely a fan of certification and building credibility in your toolbox as a coach. I'm not a fan of certification spiraling, where you just keep trying to get certified and get the next thing and get the next thing in the toolbox because you think that's going to give you the confidence to go out and coach, or you think that's what your clients need. They actually don't care about that. I mean, I've served thousands of people, and I can't even, like, less than one hand, people have asked me what my certifications are. And so, and honestly, the certifications are watered down. It doesn't take much to create a certification. So for me, all of those reasons are requiring you to think differently. I see so many coaches trying to regurgitate what they learned in their certification, and they're teaching somebody else's framework that's then perpetuating that person being awesome as their main thing. I'll give you a great example of this. I always share that one of my certifications is from Brooke Castillo's The Life Coach School. She teaches one framework. She has become known and famous for one framework called the model. Now, if I just went on, like I see so many LCS coaches do, and try to build their business off the model, then I am just a replicate of Brooke's work. However, if I use the model in my toolbox when it's necessary, and I get specific at where I'm going to utilize that model in my own framework in a specific problem I solve, now it becomes unique and proprietary, and I am no longer vanilla. So I use the model when I did weight loss coaching, but only in the process of my own framework when I could see that my clients were getting stuck in their thinking. And so this is the problem, is you are solving a problem. If you don't realize, if you're just calling yourself a life coach, there's a million different things that a life coach could do. What specific problem are you solving as a life coach? Is it you're helping people stop yelling at their kids? Is it that you're helping moms develop a loving relationship with their adult children? Are you helping women lose their last 40 pounds after childbirth? I don't know. but you are going to create your process and weave the other coaching certification frameworks into it. If you think about it, every brilliant coach who's made a name for themselves becomes known for their thing. Tony Robbins has his methodology, in fact, multiple. Mel Robbins has a framework, the 5-second rule. Brooke Castillo, the model. Dave Ramsey, 7 baby steps. What do you have that makes you unique and special? Because your client, potential client, is in their problem. They want a result. The way you get them there isn't your coaching. It's actually your process. And you need one that is unique and special to you. And then what happens is you become known for that process. The coaches who are thriving right now, the ones that I think are book solid, the ones charging like the premium rates, and they're leaving their jobs and they're creating wait lists, all the things that I know you want, they have woven their own signature approach into everything they can do. And then it's like yours. I can't even tell you the power and the charge you feel when you're like, nobody else in the world has this thing. Nobody else out there coaches and teaches the reverse design method that I do in the Framework Builder Lab, because it tugs on my 25 years of coaching. It tugs on my 20 years in coaching, group coaching, health and fitness. It tugs on my 10 years as a high school educator. It tugs at my almost 9 years of running a business. I wove all those things together, and this is what worked for me. How do I replicate this? And so now more than ever, this is actually what makes you unforgettable. And now I know when I'm not in rooms and people are talking, people are saying, oh, have you taken Amanda's Framework Builder Lab? You have to. Like, I made the investment back and then some in less than 2 sessions. That's the kind of impact I want to make through my programs. And I know you do too. And here's truthfully why you cannot wait another day to build your framework. Because every day you delay is another day you're competing with every other vanilla coach out there. Every day you're not crystal clear about what you do in your unique process is another day potential clients aren't seeing your value and they're scrolling past you. They don't even just see that you're actually the solution they need. Coaches who get ahead of this, they build their frameworks right now. They're the ones who are going to dominate the markets over time. They're the ones that are not the flashes in the pans, or the ones that just had failure to launch and never got started. They're the ones going to be the go-to experts. And they're the ones who, when like people ask for a referral and they say, do you know someone that can help with? They're like, oh yeah, you got to reach this person. And so this is exactly why I am so passionate about this live cohort of the Framework Builder Lab that starts October 22nd and goes for 8 consecutive Wednesdays. If you cannot be there live on every session, we record them. There's a private Facebook community. There's plenty of opportunity to be supported. This is not a course that you're going to opt into. It's not even a course. It's a program with live coaching. It's me. We're not robotic. We go through the motions, or we don't go through the motions. We meet people where we're at and we coach. And it's not just about even building a framework, though you will walk away with that. I promise that. It's about finally overcoming any confusion about what you do, like bringing the messiness into a clear package of expertise. It's about being able to speak confidently about your work. It's about having the exact process that your clients, that drive client results every single time you coach. And it's the only live cohort that I am hosting this year. We wrap up just before the end of the holiday season. Like, imagine at the end of 2025, how much energy you're going to have by finishing strong. And I'm doing something super special that I have not done before. My first 25 people, at the time of this recording, there's not even 25 spots left for this particular bonus. But when you're all done with the FBL, you're actually going to send me your framework, your pieces, and I'm going to do a live video audit that I'm going to send back to you. And I'm going to review that framework. And not only that, I'm going to actually show you ways to go out and market it so you can get clients with it and opportunities that I see for you. And I honestly don't genuinely know if I'll do this format again. In 8 weeks, I definitely know this is the lowest investment it will be. And, I love keeping this an intimate community so that I can give the feedback that I know that all of you need as well. So if you've been thinking about building your framework, you hear me talk about it, you're like, someday, whatever, this is the time. This is your sign. Because in a market where trust is scarce and attention is precious, having your own signature framework isn't optional, in my opinion, anymore. It's 100% a must. So again, you can save your spot. head on over to amanda-walker.com/lab. You can get all the details, take advantage of the bonuses. By the time of this recording, definitely back on social media. So if you have questions, hit me up on an IG DM at A Walk My Way. And if you could do me a favor, just share this episode with a friend that you think could benefit from just hearing this or from joining the FBL, or maybe grab someone that you want to do it with so you can go through this process together, because you probably know it's the exact thing that's missing from your entire coaching business. So again, I'm just so grateful to be with you, to speak these truths about what's happening in the market, to create urgency around why I think a framework is necessary, but mostly just to pour into you every week. And that you show up and listen and take the things that I share to heart and go out and take action on them. So I cannot wait to meet you inside the lab as we kick off October 22nd. And until next time, go coach them up.